A month ago, I created this thumbnail, but I ran into a problem. I didn't know what to make a video on, so I did what anyone naturally does. Procrastinated and doom scroll until something hit me. Sooner or later, it did. I ran into this video.
Okay, story time about how I think I'm getting scammed right now, but if you're gonna scam me, this is a really good
fake
reason.
spiritual gurus. I didn't know what that meant, so I just kept looking at more and more videos.
New Age spirituality is a scam.
Without knowing, this one video looped me into a rabbit hole I wouldn't be able to get out of. For those who don't know me, hello, and welcome to my channel Olympus. My name is Onyx, and I'm a Hellenic. My goal is to showcase Hellenism in a fun, relatable, and generally interesting way, all out through 2026. So, if you're down with that, you know what to do, and let's get started. This topic isn't new or just now happening, but it's been talked about since 2020 and even 2021. But let's start off simple. What is a fake spiritual guru? To put it simply, it is just someone who uses spirituality to exploit others. And I can say that this is happening, cause it happened to me. But we'll come back to that later. The main problem as it is, which is fake gurus scamming people basically, is already big as how it is. But the effect that it's starting to have on the spiritual community and everyone that's in and outside it is starting to have an effect.
Let's clear the air, because a lot of you guys are getting scammed, disrespecting real witches, and confusing fantasy with actual spiritual work.
And no better way to show this is by sharing my experience. This wouldn't be a real Olympus video if I didn't. Back when I was first starting my journey of becoming a Hellenic, aka I was 3 months in, I didn't have the things I have now. Friends who were Hellenic, a community that I can call my own, and research that I can look back on. But you know what I did have? A small altar for Hades and Aphrodite. Yet also a few Hellenic YouTubers that I loved. And personally, in my eyes, I loved it. My altar rested on my work desk, and every time when I lit a candle, it felt like I was close to the gods, and they were next to me while I worked on my channel. But although it was mine and I liked it, it was simple. It didn't itch this deep fear I had. This isn't good enough. I thought these ancient deities deserved something better. I would watch Hellenics or pagans on social media and saw how their altars spread all across their desk and candles were high and lit. Even the very room that their altar was in seemed as if a portal to ancient Greece opened in their room. And not gonna lie, I was jealous. This jealousy turned into disgust about what I'm doing, and that disgust turned into a determination to learn more. That is when I started to join Hellenic spaces on Discord. This story takes place in that bigger server called Hellenic Herd. One of my favorite Discord servers. They're really sweet and honest, and honestly a vibe. I have been in the server for about a year now, but back then, it could have been more than a few months in, and I noticed someone had friended me. At this point, I gained some trust in the server, so I thought nothing bad could happen, so I accepted. I'm gonna call them M, but the conversation started off slow but direct. They told me they were an Aphrodite priestess, and that Aphrodite herself sent her to me. And I mean, to younger Onyx, this sounded amazing, right? Aphrodite wanted me to be closer, she thought I could do better, and here was this woman telling me that she was able to help me get all the tools I needed to work with Aphrodite. In return, all I needed to give up was money. That was more than easy, perfect even. First, it was started with $50, 50 turned to 100, and without realizing, I gave her about, what I can remember correctly, maybe about $150 to around $250. And I generally thought I was getting better. Staying up late nights, but feeling drained in the morning, giving money to charity for people in need, all in the name of Aphrodite to feel closer to her. But after sending the money, only then did the red flag start to show. The push to send more, that I need to get this ritual done. A funny looking catch app. And why is it a red flag? Well, having a profile picture that looks like it will be on your personal account and having a username like Crazy Venom isn't really an account that you should be accepting money. I know, I'm stupid. But as time going on, things weren't adding up, and it seemed off more and more. But every time I started to overthink, she would have simply given me a screenshot to prove once again that I was wrong and it was all in my head. To wrap this story up, this had been going on for 4 months. Honestly, it would have gone on for longer if during a conversation in one of these smaller Discord servers, I didn't mention or bring up the fact that she was talking to me, because one by one they confirmed it was a scam. Another one of the members agreed that this same person tried to do the same thing to her. I was disheartened, even more disgusted than before. Not at anyone else, but at myself. And not gonna lie, this is why they talked about speaking up or trusting your gut is very important, because my gut was screaming at me no. But did I listen? Fuck no, I did not. No, I did not. It's been a year. I reported and blocked the account, but sadly the account is still up, but it's now in Discord hands to do their job now. I bring up this story to not only show awareness of the situation, but also to show how this affects people, not only outside the spiritual community, but also inside.
First things first, there's no such thing as white magic and black magic. Magic is neutral, energy is energy. Your intention is what makes it healing, destructive, or transformative. Not the color of a candle, not an aesthetic, and not a playlist. And let's talk about where those words even come from, because a lot of you guys are using language that's rooted in racism and don't even know it. Colonizers labeled indigenous and African spiritual systems as dark or black magic just because they weren't Christians. Meanwhile, European folk magic got considered angel work or white magic.
Because it creates the sense of distrust, not only the person who got scammed, but also the person whom the scammers are pretending to be. Right after I realized it was a scam, I was so ashamed and embarrassed that I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell my friends, but I'm willing to tell thousands of people on the internet, which is crazy. And not gonna lie, it starts to feel like modern spirituality feeds on your deepest insecurity, and it makes it worse and easier to push this idea because of the technology we have today. Even afterwards, I became very wary of anyone who claimed to be religious online. And that's the problem right there. When people group fake spiritual gurus and witches with real ones, there was many YouTubers that I used to watch, but I simply stopped watching them because I didn't know if they were real or not. Am I saying that all spirituality and religions are bad? No, because I'm religious. And if I did, I would not be making this video or be a Hellenic anymore. But what I'm saying is be careful of what is being said to you. The one red flag that I want to talk about is that they really seem nice. That was the thing that got me. They'll actually continue the conversation with you. They'll actively check in. It's jarring. It's different from other scams. Actively checking on me, seeing how I'm doing, and then she'll switch and be like, oh, I got a feeling that you're drifting away from the gods and stuff like that. And that was the thing that made me like, oh, maybe she actually is real. Maybe she actually is doing this because she cares about me.
So this lady is commenting on my Instagram post telling me to DM her that she has to tell me something, and her page is like a spiritual healer page. She has 1,000 followers. Yes, it does look sketchy, but also she has videos of herself talking about personal things. So DMing her with caution. I'm trying to see if she's just selling a service. She said she felt very connected to me. That's why she reached out. And I was kind of like, okay, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm very spiritual. So then she just starts telling me all this stuff about my life for free, not asking me to pay for anything. Talking about being on the show, getting some confidence, and studying some and I journal quite a bit, and this is also something I'm journaling about and having realizations. And then she says this is what got me. She listed this specific Asian members at the bottom, and those are the ones that I've been seeing the most. And I've been taking screenshots myself, so these are everywhere. She tells me a little bit more about what it means. And another thing that I thought wasn't very scammy at first, she keeps asking for permission to give me this information. I'm like, okay, yeah, because I feel like that's something spiritual people will do. They want to ask for your permission before they intrude on your life. But then I was like, yeah, tell me whatever you want to tell me. And she told me this, but then she offers her services, okay?
But what I'm saying is be careful of what's being said to you, because at the end of the day, social media's goal is to keep you hooked and stay on the platform as long as possible. So if you're feeling negative emotion, like getting over a breakup, and you're watching videos reflecting about how you're feeling, videos about how to get over him, what to do next, watch me if you just got out of a breakup. Then it wouldn't be a surprise if a card reading video pop up on your feed about how you're close to finding your dream partner. Now, not all card readers are bad, no, because I have saved a few in my playlist on my channel. But what I am saying is be careful and be mindful what you really want, because they are behind the screen. They can have a big crystal next to them, cards, and even a god statue somewhere near them. And maybe even an AI generated thing, and somehow you did not know for some reason. I'm still mad about that. I'm actually still mad at that. This is I'm recording this video a day after, and I'm still... Spirituality is based on your goals, what you need, what you're after, and even how you approach life itself. So let me be the one to say it. You do not need an expensive altar, a long, dedicated ritual to start. I am not talking about spells. My goal for Hellenism is to live as closely as I can to the ancient Greek values and to the ancient Greek gods as much as possible. So my goal and what I might be doing is very different from another Hellenic whose goal is to feel better and spiritually heal by themselves. A religion and spirituality survived for thousands, even millions of years, outlived empire, outlaws, and so much more. If you have the money to spoil your altar or your practice, and it makes you generally feel more connected to the gods, then great, do it. But before heading to your next shop, stop and ask yourself, am I buying that because I really want my gods to have this? Or is this something that I think I need to give them? Because maybe all you really need to do is be one with nature. Look at the world around you, say a prayer. Spirituality is naturally going to get bigger and bigger. People are going to leave and come into space. And that's the same way when it comes to religion, fitness, self-improvement, any niche, because you're going to naturally outprove, or that niche is not going to be able to serve you anymore. And that's completely fine. So if someone comes into your DM claiming to be a spiritual figure, please do research. Don't be afraid to speak up, talk to anyone else around you, or even better, to save yourself a headache, block. Spirituality at its core is understanding what works for you, not what fancy card deck you need. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and remember, your spiritual journey is yours alone, not a transaction. Peace out, champions.